Alright, I'd like to thank you for joining me today for this presentation. I'd like to thank the President, Mr. Lance Topping, and the Vice President, Ms. Suzanne Topping, for being here. As you know, on November 23rd, Suzanne Topping requested that I research the financial implications of implementing an ergonomic workplace here at Biswonk, and this report is to show you the results of my research. I believe by the end of this presentation you'll agree that it's a financially sound move for Biswonk to implement an ergonomic workplace. This is in light of some recent complaints we've had from employees about repetitive strain injuries on the job site, also some recent workers' compensation claims. Basically, to start off, the definition of ergonomics is the study of office environments and equipment to fit human movements to improve health and productivity, which we are particularly interested in increasing productivity, but we're also interested in the health of our employees. Healthier employees means less time missed and also less fatigue, less mistakes, higher productivity levels. So some of the benefits of utilizing ergonomics in the workplace is increased profitability. Profitability is increased by the increase in productivity. Studies show that at the lower end, productivity can be increased by 10 to 15% by using ergonomically sound equipment. Also, workers' compensation claims have been shown to drop as much as 60%. This is of particular interest to us in light of recent claims, and we'd like to avoid those in the future, obviously. The current status of our workplace is that our workplace is not ergonomically conditioned. Keyboards and mouses are not equipped with the proper wrist support, which can add to wrist strain and wrist injuries, like carpal tunnel syndrome. Computer monitors do not have adjustable height. This can cause strain in the neck. Also, our current monitors are not anti-glare. This can cause strain to the eyes. Our office chairs do not provide the proper back support, proper support in the lumbar area to help avoid back strain. Also, our current phone system is handheld. This can do is aggravate neck strain by people leaning to the side to hold the phone while they use their hands. Hands-free sets would definitely be of a better help there. Solutions. How can we fix our current situation? Beyond the research that I've done on the background of ergonomics in the workplace, I believe some future research would be beneficial on the current equipment available so that we can decide what equipment is particularly beneficial to Biswonk. The price range of ergonomically sound equipment ranges quite a bit, so we would need to balance cost with our return on investment. We're a relatively small office with only 10 workplaces, so the costs, as I've estimated them, should not be exorbitant. We need to analyze the proper equipment solutions for our office, like I said, compare the quality and cost benefits. Once we do that, I will compile a report to give to you, the President and the Vice President, so that you can have the final say in what equipment we purchase, budget, all of that, so you know how much exactly we're costs and what we are able to spend. Once we finalize that budget and the equipment that we're going to purchase, we would then purchase and install the new equipment. For installation, we would use our regular installers that we've used in the past for office equipment. What I further suggest is that we actually train our employees to use this equipment properly. If it is being used in an improper manner, then the ergonomic benefits do go down quite a bit. So, I believe it would be beneficial to add the extra bit of budget to pay a ergonomic consultant. I've already looked one up, Miss Patricia Wheaton, to come in for, it would just take about 1 or 2 hours to train our employees on how to use their equipment properly. Also other basic ergonomic tips like how to lift a heavy box, like a box full of copy paper, etc. Just other things in the workplace to avoid any injuries. Solutions. Oh, I'm sorry. Schedule. There we go. So for this schedule, that I've made, research of exact equipment that we would want to purchase, I would estimate to take no longer than about 5 days. The information is readily available. Current local stores such as Staples, Office Max, Office Depot, suppliers we've used, quite frequently in the past, have all the equipment that we need. The report, my report to you, basically telling you what equipment I would suggest, price ranges, things of that nature, I would have to you by the 18th. Delivery and installation, knowing how BizWonk works, knowing how you work, and you can correct me on this, feel free. The approval of the report, I assume, would take no longer than a few days. Once we do that, we can go ahead and order the proper equipment, have it delivered and installed. Delivery time, can vary a little bit, so that's why I gave it about a week for the delivery and the installation. Installation should take no more than a day, possibly 2, to install the new equipment. Most of it is electronical that we can just plug and play into the computers. Some of it will require some actual handiwork, like installing new adjustable keyboard stands. Training. I have the training set to take no more than, it should only take about 2 hours, but I gave it a few days just in case we need to play around with the schedule a little bit. Now finally, I have a 6-month report in June. What that is for is basically 6 months out, so that we can look back and see what our return on investment has been, so that we can have some proof that we had made a financially sound decision. Staffing. Now, the actual research, purchasing, and delivery of the equipment should take no extra staffing whatsoever. Basically, this task has fallen to me. It is perfectly within my realm of achieving. Senior members of staff, such as yourself, would do the approval for the actual purchase of the equipment, and the delivery would be straight to our office, free of charge, actually, from our local suppliers like Staples or Office Max. The installation, we would use our usual installers, which is Fulkerson Service Incorporated. We've used them in the past. We've actually already gone ahead and gotten a free quote for their services, so we know how much that should cost. And then training, we would need to bring in an outside ergonomic consultant, which would be Patricia Wheaton. Just one person. We've already gotten a quote from her to know her fees, so she would just need about 1 to 2 hours of our time for everyone in our office to learn the new equipment. For budgeting, the equipment costs in total, I have them spread out within your report, as you can see, to see the individual costs of each piece of equipment. But the total equipment cost should be about $5,300. That is for all 10 of our workplaces. Delivery costs, as I said, should be free. It will be paid by our vendors because we are frequent customers to these stores and we already have a standing agreement with them. Installation costs, our quote from the Fulkerson Service Incorporated shows the delivery cost at the high end should be $320. I estimate it should be lower than that, but we'll leave a little bit of room there. Training costs, Patricia Wheaton's costs for a training session are $250, which leaves our total cost at about $5,870. Now, our return on investment. The bottom line, basically, if we're looking at about a 10% return in productivity for our ergonomically efficient workplace, in the first quarter, which would be January through March, people are still going to be getting used to the equipment, so I showed no significant return on investment yet. In the second quarter, we would have about 10% return, which equates to about $7,000. Third quarter, again 10% return, which in that quarter equates to about $10,000. Why this is important is because we would recoup our investment on the entire process of converting our office within the first 2 quarters. We would even make a little bit of profit. So in conclusion, I believe the implementation of an ergonomic workplace into BizWonk is a financially sound investment. It will reduce our workers' compensation costs, decrease time lost due to injury, increase our productivity, and increase our profitability. Basically, I see no downside if we recoup our investment within the first 6 months. We make our workers happier. We have less time off, less time down. It'll be good all around for our entire business. I'll now allow for a few minutes for any questions. I want to thank you again for being here today and for taking the time to view this presentation. Thank you very much.